Yep, yep. You already know who it is. You already know who it is. King Ade with the Wizards review. And hold on, y'all. I have a little technical difficulties real quick. All right, yeah. So, anyway, man, we got to get right into it, man. You know what I mean? Another L. Another L. We played the Hawks tonight in Washington, D.C. We came home. A couple players came back, and I was led to believe that when we get new players, some of our players back, the result will look a little different. That's what I was led to believe, you know. Unfortunately, we know the outcome. It didn't go that way. We took an L. We lost Hawks 116, Wizards 100. And I don't even want to say it was an ugly game. It wasn't like last game, in a sense, kind of. It was a different type of ugly, I guess. You know what I mean? So, because we lost. When we lose, it's ugly. You know what I mean? That's just how I look at it. If we lose, and we lose by double digits, and we even went down 20 in a game, we lost ugly. That's just how I look at it. So, we're just gonna get right into it, man. You know the drill. If we lost the game, I start with what I liked, and I end with what I didn't like. If we won a game, I start with what I didn't like, and I end with what I did like. So we lost, so I need to start with what I did like. And the first thing I liked about tonight's game was, in my humble opinion, I think this was Russell Westbrook's best game overall as a Wizard. You know what I mean? For real, I felt he didn't turn the ball over. I was like, I know he did not turn the ball over. But when I looked at the box score, he turned the ball over 3 times. But, we could live with that. You know what I mean? Because it didn't feel like he turned the ball over like that. He played calm. He didn't make bad passes. He wasn't even hitting threes. You know what I mean? For real, he played this is the type of game we need him to play. We need him and Beal to play like this at the same time for us to even have a chance to win games, quite frankly, like night in, night out. If Westbrook doesn't play like that, we don't have a chance to win. If he does play like that, it still doesn't guarantee we're going to win. You know what I mean? But he still has to play like that. So I like that. First quarter, a lot of the things that I like happened early in the game. You know what I mean? And that's good that they started off better than they did last night. But the problem with the Wizards this season is they haven't been able to carry over good starts over 4 quarters. Like, they had maybe Phoenix the game before the COVID outbreak situation. That was their best all 4 quarter, and really their full. Maybe Minnesota too. Maybe I gotta look. I don't remember. I know they won that game, but I know for sure Phoenix from start to finish they played their best game. But they just can't seem to keep things sustained, because even like I was putting on here, my next thing I liked was the role players were more focused. But that was really, again, first, second quarter, they looked better. You know what I mean? Even with Hachimura back, you know what I mean? He didn't really play well. He didn't give us really nothing like that tonight. And Bertans, we weren't getting to him. You know what I mean? But they weren't a factor. You know what I mean? They weren't a factor. So, but at the beginning of the game, the role players, they were playing sharp. They didn't just carry that to, especially in the fourth, and we're going to get into that too. And then Lin's activity, again, all in the first half of the game, second quarter, I believe. So what happened, Westbrook hit him with a nice pass in the paint. He wasn't ready for it, and they didn't score. But after that, the sequences he had right after that mishap, he was rebounding a good amount of putbacks. He had a lot of energy, but again, that was just the first half, because in the second half, really, they disappeared. And really, that's all I liked. That's really all I liked about the game. And I like Beal's fourth quarter. You know what I mean? I like Beal's fourth quarter. You know what I mean? I like Beal's fourth quarter. So those are the things that I liked about the game. So we're going to get into what I disliked, and I don't even know where to start. There's a lot of things I didn't like at all. Let's get it out the way. The officiating. I didn't like the officiating. They were inconsistent. They threw Robin Lopez and Russell Westbrook out for what? I don't know why they threw them out. You know what I mean? It was like they were intimidated out there, and they just threw them out. And to their credit, they threw Rondo out too, but still. That's too many ejections. They didn't have control of the game. So You know what I mean? But I'm not going to say that's the reason we lost the game. That would be foolish of me to do so. You know what I mean? But they had to be called out. What I didn't like, Beal's shooting percentage. He got to 25 plus points tonight because it looked like he wasn't going to do that for the first three. But in the fourth quarter, he played well. I wish he brought that all 4 quarters. You know what I mean? But he played well in the fourth enough. I mean, I can't say he was trying to bring us back because we wasn't going to win that game, man. You know what I mean? We went down too hard. We don't have enough. If we go down 20, we don't have enough to come back from a 20-point deficit. We just don't have enough. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to say that's the reason. I mean, he did play well in the fourth, but I'm not going to say it's like he played well enough to bring us back to win because, again, just like in the New Orleans game, he needs to bring that all game. He just does. You know what I mean? I just think he's tired. Tired of, not just tired overall of being the leading scorer and everything on his back and stuff like that, but just tired of the situation, tired of losing. And I could just look at him, to me, it's like wearing on him because he was getting real frustrated and he doesn't really get flustered that much, but tonight he really did. So I really think that that affected him. We missed too many shots, man. Like, we weren't hitting shots at all tonight, man. Like, we can't win. This is basketball. I don't care how crispy you run the offense. You've got to hit shots. And speaking of not hitting shots, Bertans, man, he regressed tonight, man. It was a big regression. It looked like the Bertans early in the season when he was rushing shots, missing everything, not bringing nothing to the table. No reason to even have him on the court because he doesn't play defense. He's not hitting shots. What is he out there for? Because that's what he looked like tonight. He was a bum tonight. You know what I mean? He was a straight bum. He was a bum. Oh, he was a bum. You know what I mean? What else I didn't like? Our rebounding. We're soft. Like I said, Lynn in the beginning of the game, he gave us energy when he got in the game, but towards the fourth quarter, man, we're just so soft in the middle. Collins, he was just eating. He was doing what he wanted. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have a chance in the paint. We get out-rebounded. It's like they push our dudes. Get out the way. Let me get the ball. You know what I mean? That's how they look. You know what I mean? Who else? Lopez, man, get up out of here. You know what I mean? Give me the ball. You know what I mean? Lynn, you bum, get up out of here. That's how they was doing us tonight. Like, especially in the fourth. Like, when we needed us to play harder, that's when they just deboed us in the paint, man. The rebounding was just terrible. Towards the beginning of the game, we were playing competitive till the end of the first quarter, where our three-point defense, again, that when we have bad three-point defense, we lose the game. And it's like every game, this is like me just repeating the same thing. But at the end of the first in particular, they just gave up way too many threes. And they let the Hawks end the first quarter on a 15-5 run. I mean, I'm not going to even say we're not going to win the game with that because you could always come back. I've seen teams come back all the time. It's the NBA. But for us to go down double digits in the first quarter, we're not going to come back. You know what I mean? We're not going to come back. And then move into the fourth. You know what I'm saying? Beal played well in the fourth, but our defense against Trae Young was disgraceful. It was disgraceful. You know what I mean? And I know he's a great player, but for them to let him close us out like that in the fourth, I mean, he went on a double-digit run on his own. What'd they say, 16-0? Was that the last? I think that was the last one I heard. I don't know. He might have scored more, but that's the last thing I heard was 16-0 run by Trae Young by himself. And close us out. Like, I didn't like that at all. You know what I mean? In the third quarter defense, terrible. Transition defense in the second quarter, terrible. Letting Rondo hit threes. Rajon Rondo hitting threes consistently, terrible. All of those. Just the defense overall. And again, Brooks. I was on Twitter. A lot of people are feeling, I mean, they're even more angry than I am. I mean, I'm angry too, so I'm not going to front, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of frustration with Scott Brooks, and not only with him and his lack of coaching, lack of play calling, lack of creativity, but it's the news, the conferences, his press conferences at the end of the game, and his saying, like, he just doesn't inspire. Like, any of us watching Scott Brooks, we don't have any faith because he's our coach. He's our coach, man. This has been a problem since he's been our coach. Defense, defense, defense. We don't play defense. We don't play defense, man. Like, we don't play D, man. You know what I mean? We're not going to win. We're not going to win. Again, Trae Young, he's a great player. You know what I mean? He real nice, you know what I'm saying? But our defense is terrible. I don't know, like the way our team is constructed, it's just soft. There's no one, I mean, Russell Westbrook's an enforcer, but he's a point guard at the end of the day. We don't have no big man enforcer. Even if Bryant was there, I don't know if our fortunes would be that much different. You know what I mean? It's not like, you know, because they're saying on Sunday we should have our full repertoire of players. But, I mean, Troy Brown, you know, Denny Avdia, I mean, Ish Smith. I mean, out of those three, Ish Smith to me might bring the most, you know, bring back something. Bring the most something back. You know what I'm saying? But even Ish Smith, he's just a role player. He's no star. We just like his speed, but I've seen him take over in stretches of games. So we do need him. Don't get me wrong. I really like Ish Smith. You know what I mean? It hit me that he hasn't been playing the last few games. That's part of the reason why things have been going the way they've been going. You know what I mean? So I definitely didn't like. I mean, but when they come back, it's not like they're going to be the reason we're going to win games or anything like that. Like, we don't have players, man. We don't have dogs out there that can play D. Like, we need people that can play D. And it's like, look, we're not going to let whoever that night that feel like getting off and dropping 30 plus on us, we're not going to let that happen. Who we have on the team that can lock down somebody? Our best perimeter defender, I was told, because I watched the team, I don't need to be told anything, but I've been hearing, you know, from Brooks and things like that, like Bonga is a good defender, and I don't believe it. He's decent, average at best. You know what I mean? We don't have nobody. We don't have defenders. So I don't know how we're going to turn this around. And then, again, our coach, he just doesn't have it to light a fire under the team to turn it around. You know what I mean? I'm disgusted with what I'm seeing, man. I'm really disgusted, yo. You know what I mean? Like, I keep coming on this internet every night, and it's like the same thing, man. I hate talking about losing. I hate losing, yo. But we just keep losing, man. We keep losing. We're the worst team in the league, yo. It's not even, you know what I mean? Like, all the basketball outlets, I mean, they don't have to tell us we're the worst team. We watch the shit ourselves, man. We're the worst team in the league right now. Every team that play us, they like, all right, let's just put this dub. Let's just mark this dub early. You know what I'm saying? And it don't get no better. You know who our next opponent is? A team that we beat this year that we weren't supposed to beat when we beat Brooklyn. You know what I mean? You don't think they're not going to remember that? You know what I mean? And now they got Kyrie back, all three of them, and they're playing better together. I don't even want to talk about what I think is going to happen next game. You know what I mean? I'm going to be optimistic. You know what I mean? I'm going to be optimistic. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to talk about it. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's really all I got for y'all, man. I mean, there's really nothing to talk about. I mean, there's really not much more to say. We were trash. You know what I mean? Only 3 players. The players on the scrolling, Westbrook, Beal, and Matthews. Only 3 players scored double figures tonight. You know what I'm saying? Too many turnovers. Justin Robinson messing up. You know what I mean? It was just an ugly game, man. It was just an ugly game, man. But anyway, Jerome Robinson, my bad. See, that's how much he was messing up. That's how much he was messing up, man. I called him somebody else, man. So anyway, man, I just want to say peace, man. If you like the content, you know what to do, man. Subscribe. I really would appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. You know what I mean? You can follow the Wizards Review on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And you can follow me, King Ade DMV, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and NBA 2K, Next Gen, Xbox Series X or S. You know what I mean? So anyway, you're going to see me after the Brooklyn game. Hopefully, you know, we're praying that somehow, some way we can make a miracle happen. And we could go on a 10-game win streak or something like that. 'Cause I don't know what else to say, man. We're terrible. We're a terrible team. And I hate saying that, but I just got to keep it 100. I just got to keep it 100, man. So anyway, man, have a good night.